everyone! Welcome to this video. Like I promised, books came in. The only books I'm gonna buy this month, because that was like $200 and I don't really have that kind of money to spend. Most of these books are 2020 releases. I am going to read them as soon as I can. I also feel obligated to say, for anyone who's been following my Throne of Glass book talks, Queen of Shadows, which was released just on Thursday, that will be my last Throne of Glass book for now. But I'm taking a break from Throne of Glass as I'm just feeling like, sort of like, I know I'm into like high fantasy and stuff, and this is like high fantasy, but sometimes it gets too much even for me, so I need to step back and read something else, which is why I'm taking a break, because end of Queen of Shadows is a good time to take a break, and I'm not devouring Empire of Storms like I was every other book, but I'm going to just step back for just a couple books, and then I'll go back to Throne of Glass, finish it. So, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm hoping I can finish in time for Thursday's book talk, will be Shadowfrost. Oh, I'm loving it. I missed all of the characters, starting to remember little bits and pieces of it, but it's so good. If you have not read it, I encourage you to please read it. I'm hoping I can get it done before I have to upload that video. So, we'll start this video. This was a really long introduction, and I'm sorry. Anyways, let's get to the book haul. So our first book that I bought is a 2020 release. I don't remember when this was released. Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. I don't know jack about this. I don't know anything. But I've loved the title and the cover, and it's just beautiful. And I mean, I did read the blurb a little, but the blurbs don't really tell me much, in my opinion. They don't tell me much. I don't know if I'm going to read this after Shadowfrost or another book. Might be another book. But this will definitely be read this year, hopefully, because it does intrigue me from what I read from the blurb. I am excited to read this. Next of our 8 books that I have here would be House of Dragons by Jessica Cluess. Honestly, I bought this because I liked the look of the cover, and it is another 2020 release. Most of these are, except for I think one book. So this is House of Dragons by Jessica Cluess. Now, the reason the author sounded familiar to me, and if you guys watched last week's video on my shelf tour, you will know how much I didn't like the ending in this book, and so I never continued, but same author. I'm giving her another chance. I didn't realize this when I bought it, but now I'm going to give her another chance because I've heard great things about House of Dragons. I just don't know if I'm still going to, finish this series, but we'll read House of Dragons. Hopefully she doesn't piss me off like she did in this book, but things happen, and frankly, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing anyone can do about it, but House of Dragons seems interesting. The cover's gorgeous, like a lot of books. From what I'm gathering is there's an emperor dead, he didn't leave behind an heir, so the 5 kind of royal-esque houses are fighting to become emperor, or even empress. So yeah, these 5 people are basically fighting against each other for the throne, and that's interesting to me. Our next book is Andrea Robertson's Forged in Fire and Stars. I literally bought this because of the cover. I know it was also released this year, but I bought this because of the cover and how beautiful it looked. I haven't even read the blurb, but it just looks so cool. It has to be good. I don't even know the author. So this is the next book. I know nothing about it, so we're not even going to attempt to say it sounds interesting. I just think it looks interesting. I judge books by covers sometimes, but that's because their covers are cool. Next, we have All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This cover is beautiful. It's also very blue. I also don't know much about this, but it looks so amazing. But it looks cool. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace, another 2020 release. As I said, most of these will be. There's only one 2019 release. But if anyone has anything to say about whether this is good, I have heard nothing about most of these books except for House of Dragons and one more book that's a 2020 release. The 2019 release, I've heard of quite a few good reviews, but for this one, I've heard nothing. I have heard things about House of Dragons and one more for all of these 2020 releases, but other than that, I haven't heard a whole lot about any of these. So if you've read this, please let me know in the comments if it was good or if I made a mistake in buying it. I'm still going to read it. The cover's pretty though. I go for pretty covers a lot, but there's also books where I don't go for pretty covers, which is the next one here. Nameless Queen by Rebecca McLaughlin. This cover is not the greatest. At least in my opinion, it's not the greatest. It's not really pretty, but the title of this book is interesting. I know nothing about this. It is written in first person though, so we'll see how that goes. But I think first person might be the best for this type of thing, because I think your main character is supposed to be nameless, like they don't have a name, and so I don't know. Is it? I don't freaking know. I can't know until I read it, because I like going into books completely blind, except knowing whether or not people liked it or people didn't like it. I don't know anything, because I make it a point to walk into these blind. Also, this cover is very glossy and very, very shiny. I'm glad my cat is not in here, because she'd be going nuts with the light bouncing off of it and hitting the walls. Next, and number 6 on our journey, is The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. I don't know anything about this. I thought the cover looked nice, dark and gritty, and I like a nice dark and gritty story every now and then. In fact, that's pretty much all I read, actually. But some covers don't reflect that. Now, I feel like if this is as dark as it looks, then I'm definitely gonna give it a try. And yeah, I don't know anything about it. All I know is it's gotta be in like my genre that I read, which is fantasy and sci-fi and all of the stuff that blends into that. So yeah, maybe. I have not heard a thing about this, but I hope it's good. There's a quote. It says, "You have looked your foretold death in the face and turned from it in defiance. Nothing in this world or any other deserves your fear." That's amazing. I'm looking forward to reading this. Might make this my After Shadowfrost book, but who knows? I certainly don't, because I can't tell you what I'm going to read after Shadowfrost. And next we have our 2019 release, which is Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz. I don't know a whole lot about this. I really don't, but I'm looking forward to it. I've heard great things, and I believe it's a standalone. Unlike most of these books where I'm assuming they're like the start of series, I'm pretty sure that this is a standalone, and if it's as good as people are saying, then it's gotta be great. Oh, it's got deckled edges. I don't like that. I'm one of those people that don't like deckled edges that much. I don't mind painted edges or gilded edges, but I'm not a huge fan of deckled edges. I don't care for them, but that's just a visual thing, a design thing that I don't like about some books. It's not going to change my opinion on this book, just the design aspect. So that would be number 6, and that's my only 2019 release book. Yes. Hey, say hi to my kitty. Her name's Sam. Yeah, you're lucky you weren't out here earlier. Now for the last book in this haul, we have what feels very thin to me, but Tricia Levenseller's The Shadows Between Us. I've heard amazing things about this, and I'm excited to read it. Are you gonna be an annoyance for the rest of this video? I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm looking forward to reading it. Just don't know when that is. So, yes. So these are all the books that I have for my June book haul. I now have to find a spot for all of these, because I don't just pile them on to the end of the shelves. I have to find appropriate spots for them, which is going to take me a good long while because it's a whole mess trying to reorganize all of these books. So now I'm up to 146 books, but this is my June book haul, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you've heard anything, or if you've read these, tell me, without spoiling the book, what you thought about it, and yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a good thumbs up, hit that like button, and if you want to see more things from me, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for your notifications, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!